That game yesterday started at 1:30, and I went into a meeting at 1:15 at my day job and was there for multiple hours. So there was no chance I got to watch that Suns game. And I just want to put it out there like this. I don't want to lie to you. I did not watch that Suns game yesterday. Because yesterday, the story of the game, and I purposely didn't watch it, because the purpose of that game was not necessarily the Suns losing or the Suns winning or whatever it is, however which way you want to slice it. But ultimately, what this was about was the pearl clutching and the hand wringing of the Phoenix Suns' inability to be consistent. And what I saw yesterday on social media was a lot of outrage. And I would say one of my biggest flaws, and I don't have many of them, is my sometimes I take social media a little too seriously and at face value, when in reality I probably shouldn't do that. But just to be fair, I do sometimes take it a little too literally. And yesterday, I got in a little bit of hot water, but that's what I do on social media. I don't curse. I don't tell you my political beliefs. I don't tell you, what I believe in. It's none of you guys don't care. I give you straight opinions and my authentic, and I'm not going to blow smoke. And yesterday I said, the Phoenix Suns are not blowing it up because you are in your feelings. The fans. Now, it doesn't mean people in my chat are, but there was a lot of this, well, do not go, and sometimes that can be seen as a contrarian and just having a different opinion, just to have a different opinion. I don't know why that happens so often. Maybe I just see the world differently. That's why I really like sports. But I just got to be honest, man. It just gets a little frustrating. After every loss, the first thing fans do on social media is blow it up. Why in the world would you blow it up midway through the season? You'd be rushing a trade, trying to get it done before, 2 or 3 weeks now. And the team would only suffer because of it. And I had someone come out, I don't even know the account, but they were basically saying, like, you should blow it up now because you should be worried that Kevin Durant could be a player that could get injured and have less trade value. And my response to that was, so we're just going to play scared? You want to hold on to Kevin Durant. You don't want to hold on to Kevin Durant till the end of the season because you're worried he could get hurt. If Kevin Durant sprains an ankle, his trade value isn't going anywhere. If Kevin Durant tears an ACL, tears an Achilles, sure. But those are risks I'm willing to take, and I don't think that that's going to happen. Those are pretty freak injuries. You can blow it up at the end of the season, and I am totally okay with it. But do not blow it up now to save face or make yourself feel better because it feels good. It just gets a little frustrating. And I use that word a lot because sometimes I just take fans for what it is at face value, but the emotion that comes after every loss is just exhausting. No one is forcing you to watch the Suns every time they play. I get it. They're at times unwatchable. I think Ivan said it in the chat this morning. Just bad basketball. And I wanted to make it a point because I was going to go back and watch this game, obviously. But I didn't, and that was one of the reasons why I wasn't. I know a lot of you guys follow Locked On Suns too. Brendan was very gracious to be able to do that show alone tomorrow or yesterday because I couldn't do it. I literally didn't watch the game. And I wanted to make it a point to not watch the game because I don't really care what happened. But my sports broadcasting idol, Colin Cowherd, regardless of what you feel about him, his sports opinions, I love the way that he conducts himself and runs a show. That's all I care about. He has this saying that I tend to use as well now, but it is obviously his, say it out loud. If it sounds crazy, it's probably crazy, and you shouldn't be freaking out over it. And what it was yesterday was The Phoenix Suns, brand new rotation, brand new starting lineup, on the road, matinee game against the best team in basketball statistically and record-wise, right up there with the Thunder, lost. I hate to break it to you, but if the Denver Nuggets played the Cavs and they lost by that much, it wouldn't be that insane. It wouldn't be. And so this idea that we're blowing it up after losing to the number 1 seed on the road, who has lost 1 game to the Western Conference all year, is just insanity. And you're not going to take a discount. In fact, I will go as far as to say this. Not only will the Phoenix Suns not blow it up at the trade deadline, but Matt Ishbia just lost to his arch rival, that being Dan Gilbert. The mortgage business, for some reason, is a real thing. Very funny in the chat, Ivan. That was very funny. A little Colin Coward homage. Sorry. I would go so far as to say that the Phoenix Suns will actually go further all in. I don't think that they're going to blow it up. I think a trade for Jimmy Butler is more likely now than ever from the Suns side of things. Now more than ever. The mortgage business, for some reason, just causes arch rivals. But Dan Gilbert, Matt Ishbia do not like each other. After getting your brains kicked in by your arch rival, I do see Matt Ishbia going even more nutso and going after a Jimmy Butler, doing whatever it has to take to get that on the table. But the idea that you're just going to go 1.5 seasons with this core and blowing it up and taking a discount on everyone, because that's what happens. Guys, there are more assets available to you in the offseason. You can get more assets from people. Right now, Kevin Durant probably gets 3 firsts and maybe a player. In the offseason, you might be able to hold out, get 4 firsts, and really recuperate those assets. Bradley Beal, less money on his contract, maybe you can get off of it. But that's my other point. Bradley Beal, outside of a deal that includes Jimmy Butler, because it would have to make the money work, is an immovable contract. And if you ever did move on from Bradley Beal, the only thing you would ever get is Jimmy Butler in return. Without Jimmy Butler in a trade, Bradley Beal is not getting moved. Just get over it. I don't like it. I loved Bradley Beal at Florida. I was super stoked when he came to the Suns. I was clearly wrong. But to act like you weren't happy about it either was kind of nonsense. We were all stoked that Beal was here. It just didn't work. It just didn't work. And Bradley Beal is that's just what it is, guys. I'm not thrilled for it. It happens. It's a bad look. But Beal is an immovable contract. I see constantly in social media too. I like to do this because I like to educate fans too. Trade Bradley Beal for a couple of role players. Guys, they would have done that yesterday. No one will take on Bradley Beal's contract. The only way outside of a Jimmy Butler deal that Bradley Beal gets dealt is if they give someone multiple assets as well to take on the deal. So sometimes I just get so frustrated, guys. The Suns will go further all in this season than they will be all out. And that's just the only way it is. I didn't watch the game yesterday, and I've watched every single Suns game this year. But I wanted to make it a point for people to understand blowing it up is not an option. You will take less assets in return. Bradley Beal is immovable outside of a deal for Jimmy Butler. Just stop complaining. Stop hand-wringing. No one's forcing you to watch the games. In fact, I would be so inclined if I didn't cover this team to not watch the games. So, a little frustrating. I didn't see Beal's, I understand last night as well, I didn't see Beal's, I'm not going to speak on things I didn't watch, but Beal apparently was not thrilled yesterday. It looks like he was about ready just to be done with this team. I don't know. I don't know if I blame the guy, but then again, you make $50 million a year to play basketball, so just nonsense all the way around. But at the end of the day, for people to realize that this team is not going to blow it up, it just drives me insane because it is such a clickbaity thing to do. It is laziness. The one thing that I hate about any sort of job. Sorry, I had to grab something. The one thing I hate about this job in particular, it's why I dislike the Evan Sideries of the world. It's why I dislike the fan accounts that act like they have sources. I work extremely hard at my job. I bust my butt. I work multiple jobs. I do what I can to craft these takes and be different and not give you guys the same opinion every day. I hate laziness. And the laziness that I see from guys like Evan Sidery, just news aggregating or fan accounts throwing out nonsense, or other people that just don't have sources that act like they do, or whatever it is. I hate the clickbaity take of just blow it up. There's no substance, and you're lying to yourself, and you're just trying to get clicks.